everybody, it's Emily here at VW Family Farm, and today I'm actually going to be doing a DIY tutorial. Lately I've been seeing a bunch of people wearing these Boho Bandos. They're so cute. I love them. They're very trendy right now. So if y'all didn't know, we're getting a store sometime soon, and I'm going to be making my own Boho Bandos and selling them in there. But today I'm going to show y'all how to make them and make them as close to the real as possible. So first I'm going to give y'all some information about the reel, and then I'm going to show y'all how to make them, and then I'm going to compare them for you. So their most popular size that I would say is what I see a bunch of people wearing is this one. This is an 18 by 10 inch. It's really just a tube. So all the way around it would be 20 inches. And then their smaller size than that, which is what I'm wearing, is 13 by 9. And that's like all their tie-dyes and different stuff. And then their half are 9 by 10. So these ones are a little bit smaller. I'm going to be showing y'all how to make the bigger ones today because that's what I see most people wearing. So I'm going to show y'all how to make those and also different ways you can style them, what all you can do with them, because there's a ton of different ways you can wear them. This is my favorite way. I like to do this messy bun with one in my hair because I have a ton of baby hairs that just like fly everywhere. So this is really good, and as you can see, it's really thick. Like, this is really scrunched up, but I like that. So the material you are going to need to make this, I use jersey knit just because it's stretchy. So one tip I really want y'all to look at, because I messed up on this when I first started making them. I've made probably around 20 of these so far. Here's some jersey knit. I'm going to get a close-up of this. I don't know if y'all can see. You can see it when I put it in that light in that window. Look right here. This is the way it stretches, and those lines go across that way. You always want to make sure that it's up that way. I am not a great sewer by any means. I don't sew like ever. This is like the only thing that I've ever sewed, but I learned that pretty fast because I did that once and I was like, this is not stretching at all, and the last one in this color stretched, so found that out. So you always want to make sure the lines are going horizontal. If they're going vertical, it's not going to stretch. So always make sure it's stretching this way. That's going to be a lot more forgiving if you do it the right way. Because especially if you're selling these, because all heads are going to be different sizes, different shapes, everything. So everybody's going to be able to wear them if you make it if you make it really uniform and everything, and everybody can wear them. So I'm going to show y'all how to make some of these today. Okay, so I have my material and I have this mat that helps me measure what I need to cut. So the actual bandos are about 18 by 20. So what we're going to cut out is 18 by 22 because we want to have about 1 to 2 inches of extra fabric to work with. Again, like I said, I'm not a great sewer, so I always want to give myself extra. So I have this really odd shaped fabric piece to work with, but that's okay because I've already cut out really what I can get out of it. I'm just going to get one more out of it. So 18 is how long this board is. So we're going to line it up that way. And I'm actually going to give myself a little more than 18 just so when I get it all done, I can straighten it if I need to. So, and it won't hurt anything if it is a little bit longer. Okay, so I've lined it up to over here where it is. I can find the 22. You can go anywhere from 21.5 to 22. I just don't suggest going any under 21.5 or really over 22. I just work in that ½ inch range. So what you're going to do is you're just going to cut it. This is, like I said, super simple to cut and measure on because it has these lines. All you want to make sure that you're not doing is this is not like stretched, because it will stretch pretty easy and like stick to this mat and it will slink back up. So you don't want it to be stretched out when you do this. So as you can see, I'm not cutting a perfectly straight line. I mean, it's straight, but it's like kind of rigid. But that's okay because you're going to go back and fix that later. It's not going to be a huge deal because this is not going to be on the finished product. So once you get it cut up to there, I'm going to cut it horizontally. Again, like I said before, make sure the stretch is stretching horizontal right here. It's going this way from the 1 to the 22, not from the 1 to the 18, because that's going to be your length, and the 1 to the 22 is going to be your width. So we have our rectangle of material, and we are going to go sew this now. Okay, so I'm now at the sewing machine, and you are just going to line this about ½ inch to an inch. Like I said, depending on what you did back there, how much room you gave yourself, this is where that's going to come in. You need to line it about ½ inch to an inch from the seam, and you need to make it where the part that you want to show is folded in on itself, so the parts that you want to show are touching each other, and you have the part that's going to be the inside of your bandeau facing outwards, which is what you're seeing right now. Okay, so for my stitch, I'm just using a zigzag stitch, just so it will give stretch a little bit. I'm not making it super small, like I'm doing one of the wider zigzag stitches. I'm not doing it really small because I do want it to be able to stretch just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start sewing this. Go slow if you need to. I go slow because I'm not very good at sewing. So just go slow and take your time. And you want to make sure that the edges are going to stay close together so you don't sew over one. Another thing I would suggest is to take your fabric and don't stretch as you're sewing. Like, don't do this, because you'll wind up, you're probably more than likely, if you do that, going to wind up with one side that's going to be longer stretched out than the other side. So make sure you just keep it loose. Don't keep it like where it's folding up on itself, but keep it loose where it's not going to stretch out. Okay, now as you can see, I'm not sewing all the way to the bottom here because I will trim this up. So I'm just going to do my back stitch and cut it off. Okay, now that it is sewed up, what we're going to do is we're just going to take where this seam is. We're going to trim right up next to it. Don't trim it where you cut the thread, but trim it close enough so when you put it on, if it does get turned around somehow, it's not going to be very obvious that there is a seam there. Also make sure to cut your threads off. Okay, now that once you have that trimmed, you're going to trim, since we didn't sew all the way to the bottom, you're going to trim that off straight. So you want to line this out and make sure it's straight. Okay, now you're just going to line this up on a line and start trimming. Now you're going to do this to both sides. Okay, there you go. So now it's basically done. So all you're going to do is just flip it to the right side. Now if you want, I'm actually going to leave this one long. This one's probably more around 20 inches instead of 18. But I'm going to leave it that long. Just because with this material, it will, just like t-shirt material, it's going to roll up on itself. Like when you stretch it, it's eventually going to start rolling up on itself. So it's not going to actually wind up being that long after a while. But I kind of like them long because I like scrunching them up a lot. But if you prefer it shorter, like I said, the actual Boho Bandos are 18, and then there's also one that they sell that's 13 and one that they sell that's 9. So it's really whatever you prefer. You can do any of it, but I like mine long. So as you can see, mine is not perfectly straight. I'm not super perfectionist about this kind of stuff. I am perfectionist, but this is not just one of my strong suits is sewing, but it's straight enough for what I want. So I think it's going to be pretty good. And this took me about 5 minutes, guys. So this is super easy and super cute and going to be super trendy. So y'all definitely need to make one of these. And now I'm going to show y'all the difference between this and a real one and how to style it. So this is a real one. It's a little bit snugger. Just like I told y'all, this one is like 18 inches around, I think, instead of 20, but that's okay. So I'm going to take this one off. These are all my baby hairs. And then this one is the one I made. Also, I made this one a little bit longer just so I could scrunch it up more. I have the seam and I put it on the bottom So basically what you do is just scrunch it up and put the seam on your neck. And I put mine over like this. And you're just going to start, I call it scrunching it, but and you can make it as wide or as thin as you want it. And then I tuck up my baby hairs under there. Okay. So that's basically the difference between them. And the best part about making your own is you can size it to whatever size your head is. You can just measure around your head and do it as precise as you want it. But yeah, I really like them bigger like this because you can see all these lines. I like those scrunchy lines. But if you don't like all those, you can make it as short as you want it. Okay, now for styles. My favorite way to wear them is what I was wearing in the past clip. It was like a bun with the bandeau kind of like scrunched up. But you can also do that with ponytails or braids or literally whatever you want. You can wear it down like that. Another great thing that you can do, you can put it over your head just like this, and you can have it like this. You can wear it like this is like a wild rag kind of thing, or you can pull it up and you have a super simple face mask. So the other thing you can do is once you pull it up like a headband, you can pull it back like this. And I like to pull out a few hairs just to frame my face a little bit, just because I like it better like that. And you can wear it kind of like a bandana, like this. I really like this way. I don't like it without like the hairs pulled out, just because it frames your face a little bit, and I don't really like my hair just slicked back. The shorter ones are better for this. This one's actually folded up. It goes out quite a ways because the shorter looks better than when it's all the way down here. But you do you. Another thing you can do is if you're in a pinch and you don't have a ponytail, you can use this and you can put your hair up with it. You can also wear it just around your wrist. I've seen people doing that. And one of the most popular ways to wear it is just like this. You just stick it on your head. You don't even tuck it under. And you just wear it just like this. While it's like this, you can take it and you can pull it out and back. So it just folds over. Kind of looks like a little beanie or something. Just a lot thinner. I actually really like this way of wearing it. I think it's pretty cute. My hair is very fluffy right now because it's curly. But you can wear it like this and you can actually pull out the bottom too. And you can wear it like that, or I like it tied. If you tie it, that would also be super cute, but this is another cute way of wearing it. So those are some of my favorite ways to wear bandos. So I hope y'all enjoyed me making homemade bandos. I hope y'all give it a try and wear it. I love them. I made actually quite a few, so when we get our store up and running, I will be selling them. I hope y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching, and God bless.